all my people, and if you're watching live, checking us out on YouTube, or listening on your favorite podcast provider, you are most definitely my people. Welcome to another episode of Botched, Spots, and Chair Shots. I'm your host, a chef by trade and a mark by choice. I am the Will Gray, and tonight we welcome not only a trio powerhouse on the independent scene, but they're breaking out in AEW, Ring of Honor. They're literally everywhere. We have Primal Fear. Gentlemen, how are y'all this evening?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having us.
Hey, man, thanks for having us on.
I'm
appreciate you. Thank you.
Super duper excited. I failed on my side of the journalism approach. I didn't ask which of the three of you I was actually going to have because it was just the Primal Fear email for the booking. So having an opportunity to actually get all three of you is super pumped, really excited about it. So let's jump into it. I'm going to ask a couple questions, let you guys feed off of it. 1, 2, 3, however y'all want to answer is cool. You guys currently hold two different sets of titles in SuperKrazee Pro Wrestling, the Live Champion and the Tag titles. You guys want to talk about what's going on in SuperKrazee for a minute?
Yeah, as far as the tag titles, we're coming up on a year holding them. Last August, we won them. And then, Adrian, you won the Live a few months ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I beat Darian Hardway for the SuperKrazee Live Championship and recently defended it for the first time against Ryse in a successful title defense.
You guys also carry the Ryse Wrestling Tag Team Champions. How do you guys adjust going from one promotion to another, representing two different titles at the same time?
I feel like we are who we are, whether we have titles or not. We don't really change our approach for anything. Them titles, we carry them proudly because we do a good job representing them no matter what promotion we go to. We always let it be known of, the places where we're champions. And yeah.
When you wear a tag title like that and you have an opportunity, there's a rich history in tag team wrestling that dates all the way back to the NWA days. How does it feel to hold some of these territory tag titles and to keep that rich tag team wrestling tradition going?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, my whole life, I've always wanted to be a wrestler, but I've always wanted to be a tag team wrestler. Like, I've always loved tag team wrestling, and the two companies where we're the tag champs now, they're both newer companies, but, we've also been Monster Factory tag champs, I think 6 times. And, that's a place that, you look at even some of just the tag teams that came out of there, the Headbangers, like, they held them titles.
Yeah, and plus I think it's super cool that that we're a trio holding multiple tag team titles on the Indies, because I don't even know when it's the last time I don't know if it's ever been done before. Maybe one of you guys can start me up on that, but I think it's super cool that it's the three of us doing it.
And I feel like we're following the blueprint of other successful teams and other successful wrestlers. We want to hold gold wherever we go, you know what I mean? If we can hold 3 titles and Adrian can hold 3 titles and we're all champions everywhere we go, that's the goal right now. The Young Bucks did it, Ultimo Dragon did it back before WCW. That's what we want to do right now.
When you start talking about some of these great stables and great tag teams over history, you look at some of the big ones: New Day, DX, Bullet Club. Inside those stables, you have guys carrying singles competitors titles. You have people carrying tag titles. You have trios titles. Do you guys look at yourself in the big picture and go, it's Primal Fear with the members, and it's just however you guys can be successful? Adrian, if you have to be a singles competitor, you're ready to roll. Gabriel or Matt, same for you guys. But then if they call all three of you up together, how do y'all go from working as individuals to singles to tags to the trios? What's the preparation like to bounce around between the three of you?
I mean, I don't really think it's that difficult, I mean, I haven't had a singles match in probably 3 years, but I mean, I feel like, I could go out tomorrow and have one, because it's wrestling, but we do want to, the big picture that we're trying to represent, like you said, is it's Primal Fear, whether I win a championship or Matt wins it or Adrian wins it, whoever wins it, Primal Fear wins it, and that's what we're trying to portray.
Yeah, to us, it's like all for one and one for all. You know, we're doing this together. We've been doing this for years. We've been tag team champions in multiple promotions. Adrian has been a champion in multiple promotions. We've been doing tag and singles wherever we go, and we've been doing trios wherever we go. So if you have a trios title, we want it. If you have a singles title, Adrian Silverdown is going to win it. If you have tag titles, me and Gabriel are going to win it. It's just the way it's going to be. That's how we want it to be.
Yeah, man, just trying to be a jack of all trades, man. Trying to do it all.
You guys recently got to join in and go to an AEW Dark event. You got to work with Dante Martin and a few of the other guys on their roster. What was it like being able to get up there and work for them?
We've done a few things with AEW, and they're a great company. You know, we love going there. We know a lot of guys in the locker room from the indies. Some of them we trained with. So, you know, sometimes going there, it's kind of like a little bit of a reunion, seeing some people that, you know, you knew a few years ago that have moved on or whatever. But they're a great company. They always treat us great.
Yeah, I feel like we've been there twice. We've wrestled twice for them, and I feel like weren't really able to showcase much of ourselves. But I feel like the next time we do earn an opportunity there, it's going to be different. We're going to be able to show them what Primal Fear is all about. So I'm definitely looking forward to that next moment, the next opportunity.
Moving along, kind of the same question, but looking towards Ring of Honor. When you work for a little bit smaller of a promotion with Ring of Honor, when you have a little bit more freedom with what you can do in the matches, and then having a chance to work with such a great group of guys in STP, how did you to prepare for that and go into that match?
Man, listen, honestly, there was no preparing for that because that kind of came out of nowhere, especially during the pandemic. Like they lost a lot of their roster because none of them could come out because of the like all the security and stuff not allowing anyone to fly out or whatever. But man, like the first opportunity for us to Ring of Honor was against Mexi Squad with Bandito, Ray Horace, and Flamita, and that came out of nowhere, man. We just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And that was a huge opportunity for us, and we were able to showcase ourselves, and they were happy with what they saw, and that earned us an opportunity against STP. So, I mean, like I said, man, there was no prepare for that. It kind of just happened, and we just had to either show up and like just shut up, show up, and show out. Like, that was it.
It was such a wild time. Like it feels like we were like, you know, our backs against the wall. We're fighting for every opportunity we got. We're, you know, scratching, crawling for whatever we can get, and luckily we were getting all these opportunities. You know, unfortunately Ring of Honor is not a thing right now, but I feel like we were just kind of I feel like we were hitting our stride at Ring of Honor at the time, and we're only getting better right now. So whatever happens next, you know, very interested, but Ring of Honor gave us an opportunity to showcase our abilities to the whole world, you know. So
yeah, and like, you know, back to that match in particular, that was our only, you know, aside from some dark matches that never got aired or whatever, that was only our third match in Ring of Honor. So, like, you know, it was really cool that they trusted us enough to be like, you know what, man, this is only these guys' third match, but let them go out there and have 10 minutes or 12 minutes, whatever we had. And, like, you know, I feel like we stepped up to the plate, and, like, you know, I love that match. I love them guys. You know, we were in the dojo with SOS. SOS was our tryout match to get into the dojo. Like, we wrestled each other, so, you know, we trained with them too. So it was really cool to be in the ring, you know, looking across from them to guys that, you know, we came in with, and, like, you know, in a sense, like, we were there like a couple years earlier. That's what we were fighting for. It was cool. It was really cool.
Shout out to Shane Taylor Promotions. Definitely got to run it back sometime.
Oh yeah.
Those are great guys. I've had an opportunity to sit down with a few of them. Looking back at it, when you guys were coming up in the Ring of Honor dojo, what were your first impressions when you guys heard that Tony Khan had acquired the Ring of Honor library and everything that went into it?
Well, at the time of it being announced that Tony Khan bought it, we all had already had, you know, Final Battle had already taken place. So we kind of accepted, you know, life after Ring of Honor. But, you know, when we heard Tony Khan bought it, it kind of, you know, and like he's, you know, I don't know exactly what's happening with it, but, you know, they ran that show in Dallas, and it's cool. Hopefully they bring it back. You know, that was the first company that gave us a break, and I would love to see it running.
Adrian, you got anything to throw in?
Yeah, man. Like Gabe said, if they bring Ring of Honor back full time and they're looking to add additional people to the rosters, I mean, there's apparently word on the street that they might even bring in a trios title. So, I mean, if that's a thing, you know, where our books are open, man, we'll be willing to come down and represent, show them what six-man wrestling is all about.
Yeah, it was a little weird because hearing about Tony Khan acquiring Ring of Honor, you know, we were like Gabe said, we were already after Final Battle. It kind of was what it was, but hearing Ring of Honor announcing the hiatus originally was like the biggest shock to us. So I remember like seeing that announcement, like, man, damn, that kind of hit hard, you know, like that was something that hit much harder than hearing about the Tony Khan thing.
Yeah, because like at that time, you know, we went from the first, I think, 3 tapings during COVID not being used to we were getting consistently used almost every taping, you know, and we were really starting to, you know, get a little bit of momentum. And then all of a sudden we go on Instagram and we see that there's no more tapings. It's like, damn, like it felt like at that moment, like it felt like everything just, you know, got taken away.
Gabriel and Matt, when you guys look at tag team wrestling right now in the big picture of things, when you see tag team wrestling in AEW and WWE, it's littered with a lot of high spots, and modern tag team wrestling on the big picture gets a lot of flack because they seem to neglect some of the rules. Do you guys approach tag team wrestling from more of a traditional standpoint, or do you feel like it's match to match and you should build the spots based on what's happening in the ring for the crowd? Did I make sense with that question?
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's, you know, you can't look at every match the same. And, you know, tag team wrestling gets a bad rap, but you could say the same thing about singles wrestling, you know, in a championship match, if they're fighting on the floor, they're not going to get counted out. It's the same thing as in a championship tag match. They're not going to count the guys out for running a combo in the ring. Like, sometimes, you know, a little leniency is needed.
Yeah, and
I think, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just like as far as us as a tag team, I feel like we approach it a little more old school. We do rely very much on psychology, trying to protect the referee, trying to protect like any type of illegal maneuvers, whatever like that. But we like the way the Briscoes were doing it in the past couple of years. I feel like they always protected the refs. I feel like they did tag team wrestling right. FTR
Yeah,
doing tag team wrestling right.
You know, yeah, FTR and the Briscoes are like, you know, that's you know, like he was saying, a lot of who we try to watch, like, because it's that old school hate, or you know, it's the old school psychology, but it's got, you know, high spots in it, and you know, action all over the place.
So I guess once you start, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, as far as like tag and singles wrestling, like it's always I think keeping psychology in the match is very, very important because the psychology will help get the crowd like invested emotionally, and that's what we all want as performers. But at the same time, like the fans, they want to see exciting stuff as well. You know, like everyone knows. If you're a wrestling fan, you pretty much know like the structure of a match already. You know, the baby face gets their shine, and heel gets the cut off. You work to a comeback, you work to a finish. Like everyone knows the structure of a match. But now it's our job to try to take that and try to keep it as exciting as possible while keeping that psychology. So you might have to throw in like them, you know, high spots, some cool moves in there to try just throw in the best of the old school with some of the new school. And I think you got yourself a great recipe for success right there.
Because people, you know, they've been exposed to what a real fight looks like. Everybody watches UFC. Everybody sees like, okay, that doesn't look like UFC. That can't be real. So we have to kind of blur the lines a little bit. We have to step it up. You can't work the headlock for 5 minutes anymore.
Yeah,
not going to work in a fight.
I would say I think we have an old school, you know, mindset as far as psychology with just some new school movement with some flashy moves and combos.
I can appreciate that. Speaking on that a little bit more, when you look back at some of the old traditional trios and tags and stables from the NWA days, a lot of people bring up the freebird rule when they talk about these kinds of things. Guys, especially the fabulous freebirds, obviously the namesake of the rule, but guys who are in stables and stuff who pass around the tag team titles based on which 2 members or 3 members are in the territory at that point. Have you guys ever utilized the freebird rule inside of Primal Fear?
We have. That is how we just won the Ryse Tag Team Championship, actually. It was a 6-man tag match for the title.
We did it before a couple years ago, I think one time, right? Then we do.
Yeah, I think one time I might have had to miss a show, and I think Adrian might have covered.
Yeah, and I think it's a great way to, just keeping it fresh as well. You don't always see the same 2 guys. If for any reason one guy can't make it, the one can sub, or even. Like I said, just to keep it fresh and exciting, and just to,
I think, did we win the SuperKrazee Tag Team Championships with the Freebird rule?
Yeah, you 2 won them.
Oh yeah, see.
Oh yeah, see.
So when you work as a singles competitor, Adrian, and you're looking at the championship gold for you, a lot of people have said holding singles gold is more prestigious than holding a tag title. Looking at the guys also in your team, do you feel like a singles title means more than your tag, or is it about the betterment of the whole group?
No, I think it's the betterment for the entire group, but I think myself, as doing like the singles wrestling for the most part, I feel as though like I take it upon myself to try and put on the best singles matches that I possibly can, because I truly believe in my abilities and being able to structure a match and put a match together. So, it just goes to show when I'm out there and I'm wrestling, man, you're gonna get like your money's worth, because I put it all on the line, man. When I step out through that curtain, it's 110%, nothing less.
Do any one of you have a spot that you've done where you were like, holy shit, I can't believe we pulled that off? Anything?
I don't know, maybe jumping off of Gabe's back to the outside is pretty cool the first time we did it, because we never practiced it. We just did it, and it worked pretty fine. I'm always afraid of slipping, especially later on in the match, we're all sweaty or whatever. But now it was good.
Excellent, gentlemen. Well, I close all of my interviews with 5 rapid-fire questions for everybody. So I'll ask a question, and if all 3 of you want to answer, if only one of you want to chime in on each one, that's cool too. First one I always start with, what's your favorite fast food?
Wendy's.
Wendy's?
McDonald's, baby.
I would have to say Burger King.
Really? 3
This is
different
the
ways.
driving after the show.
Damn, so that means we're all going to separate restaurants after the show.
Now we figure out what's closer.
A house
What's the
divided.
closest thing?
A house divided on where the car goes for dinner after the show. I'm a big fan of Wendy's burgers. I think McDonald's has the best French fries. Burger King's just never really been my cup of tea. My fast food is always Taco Bell, 100%.
Taco Bell is good. I kind of wish I said Taco Bell after I said Wendy's.
Can't do Taco Bell. Can't do it. I'm sorry.
Who was your favorite superstar growing up as a kid?
Undertaker.
Yeah, for me, it was Shawn Michaels.
The Rock.
Those are 3 solid picks. I think we're all around the same age. My 2 favorite are always Shawn Michaels and Mick Foley, 100%. Growing up in the Attitude Era. Yeah, I was growing up in the Attitude Era, the hardcore wrestling, ECW days. Like, I grew up watching that, Al Snow, a lot of that stuff. So I had a ton of fun watching Mick Foley grow up. What's your favorite venue you guys have wrestled in?
Fine.
Hammerstein Ballroom, is that what you said, Gabe?
Yeah. But the 2300 isn't far behind.
Yeah, Hammerstein Ballroom was just so cool. It just has a special atmosphere about itself. When we wrestled in there for the first time, it was very special. So I'm gonna go with Hammerstein Ballroom as well.
Yeah. I would have said the UMBC Arena in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's like personal significance.
Yeah. For some
Madison
reason, just
Square
like
Garden was cool too, but we didn't wrestle.
yeah,
Listen, we haven't gotten to wrestle in the UMBC arena with a crowd.
with a
It's always
crowd. That's
been,
what I'm saying. That's like,
yeah,
damn. If we got to wrestle in front of a crowd, it'd been nice, but it'd probably be Hammerstein for Western
yeah, Hammerstein
DC.
Ballroom.
That's a great pick. Like I've heard a lot of people say like in Philadelphia, the ECW arena and stuff like that. Hammerstein's the first. You guys are the first ones to say that one specifically, though. I've heard MSG, I've heard some of the other ones, but that's a great pick. It reminds me of a place in Nashville called War Memorial. It's not a super big auditorium, but when you get into it, it feels a lot bigger because those 500, 600, 700 people fill it up so well. It sounds like it could be a couple thousand without even missing a beat. If you guys had a favorite finisher that is either a tag team finisher or a singles finisher, either one, what's your favorite finisher?
Mm.
RKO.
RKO?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same exact thing. RKO.
Why can't
Come
I
on,
think
man,
of it
just
right
say
now?
it.
It's the
Just say-
risk.
Just say RKO,
It's
bro.
so technical.
Just say RKO.
The rock bottom. The rock bottom.
I always throw a random one out, and my favorite finisher in the moment is the 5-star frog splash. I think RVD perfected it. Montez Ford has stepped it up one step further. It always looks good to me. It's one of those that everybody can sell. He looks good doing it. Like, it's one of those, and it's protected. You almost never see him do it if he's not going to get the 3 count, you know? So I appreciate that as well. Closing question is, what is your favorite musical artist or performing group?
Eminem.
I mean, if we're going with rap, I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan, so I'm gonna go with Lil Wayne.
I'll have to say there's a band called Gojira right now. It's probably my favorite.
Yeah, if I was going heavy metal, Gojira was gonna be my pick.
My favorite hip hop group is always Wu-Tang Clan. I appreciate the East Coast hip hop. I was always a Biggie over Pac guy. Favorite metal? Man, honestly, I've been listening to a lot of Slipknot lately. Like, not just new Slipknot, but old Slipknot too. Like, their first album, Iowa, Subliminal Verses, like, their first 3 albums were all bangers. Like, you can't, those first 3 albums didn't have a bad song on them as far as metal.
Yeah, me and Matt
so
saw
glad.
them live a couple months ago, man. They're putting on such an amazing show. It was so good.
Yeah, killed it.
Hearing them with the new drummer after they lost Joey, I was super impressed with that because he just picked up and just took off, never missed a beat with it. So I was super hyped when I heard that they got the new drummer in.
Awesome. Yeah, the latest album was pretty good too. So keep it up, Slipknot. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
Excellent, gentlemen. This is the part of the show where I tell you all to have an opportunity to plug your stuff, tell everybody where your socials are and where they can find you guys.
Also, man, if you guys want to help support Primal Fear, support your boys, you can buy our merchandise at prowrestlingtees.com/true primal fear. We are also on whatamaneuver.com. Just look for the store section and type in Primal Fear and you'll see our store right there. But if you want to follow me individually, you can find me on Instagram at Soriano Saga. Same thing on Twitter, Soriano_Saga.
My Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok are all the same. It's fear_Gabriel13.
Matt?
And you can find me at MattOmen999 on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I stream live video games sometimes. And you also find our individual t-shirts, myself at prowrestlingtees.com/MattOmen999. I know Adrian has one as well.
Yeah,
And we got a
if you
YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're still in the works with that, but we just released our first vlog on YouTube. Just look up Primal Fear Vlog 1 and we'll pop up. We got another one coming out this week. And if you guys want to reach out to us personally, you can reach out at our email, which is trueprimalfear@gmail.com.
Excellent, gentlemen. As we close another episode of Botch Spots and Chair Shots, I just want to take a minute and thank you for listening. Remind you to like, follow, subscribe, unsubscribe, then subscribe again everywhere you do anything on the internet: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all the options. And remember, thanks for stopping by and listening, my people.